Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Paris doing a few touristy things, starting with the Catacombs. Well, actually starting with this delicious breakfast in a restaurant right next to the Catacombs, which was not only delicious, it was cheap too. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those not here before, my name is Emma. Her name is Lola. And we're in the Catacombs. And it's quite creepy. We're losing our tour. We have, but time keeps stopping. Anyway, we'll take you with us and show you around. I made the mistake of buying the tickets for the Catacomb through Get Your Guide, and I think I paid about £100 each. If you buy them directly from the Catacombs, I think the most you're going to pay is about €30, so I paid way over the odds. There was a cruise included in that down the River Seine, but it still worked out more expensive. If you are buying direct from the Catacombs though, make sure you do it way in advance because they sell out really quickly. So the Catacombs, for anyone who isn't familiar with them, is basically an underground city of the dead. There's 6 million skeletons, all housed in, below the streets of Paris. I think it goes right across the city and home to 6 million skeletons. They were put there to stop the overcrowding of the cemeteries in Paris. There are a lot of stairs to get into the Catacombs because I think it's actually lower than like all the water pipes, the metro. So yeah, a lot of steps to get down, which I was worried about. I was more worried about the steps getting out, but that wasn't as bad as actually going into the Catacombs. As well as all the information boards, we had an audio guide as well. It was like a self-guided tour, so we just went around and scanned things, or I think we pushed buttons and it told you about the different areas and a bit of the history of the Catacombs. It was really interesting and educational, and for those who have seen the horror film As Above, So Below, it was also a little bit terrifying. If you haven't seen that film, you need to watch it. It is dark down there and the floor is uneven and a bit slippy with low ceilings, if that's what you can call it. So yeah, if you've got any sort of mobility problems, it might not be the best place to go. So just check before you book anything, because it's really hard to get a refund if you book and then think, actually, I can't manage that. It was somewhere I'd always wanted to visit, especially since watching the horror film. Lila wasn't so keen to go, but actually I think she enjoyed it the most out of all of us and found it really, really interesting. So as I said, it is educational and just such an unusual place, really. It wasn't scary or anything like that. It was a peaceful place. It was just really good. After our visit to the Catacombs, we went outside and had a drink in the boiling hot sunshine and had a little walk around the city, spent far too long and far too much money in Sephora, and then headed off for our cruise. As I said, the cruise tickets were actually included in our Catacomb tickets, but it would have been cheaper to pay for it individually, like direct with a supplier, if that makes sense. So we booked our Catacomb tickets with Get Your Guide, and they came with a 3-river boat cruise. So that's where we are. There wasn't any room upstairs.
I went to Sephora.
Okay, yeah, and Lila went to Sephora.
They gave me a free bag.
And now we have no money. So after our cruise, we headed off for lunch and found the prettiest restaurant, which was right next to the Eiffel Tower. And that did mean it was overpriced. I felt it was very overpriced for what we got. I basically paid about 30 euros for bread and cheese. And it was a shame because we'd seen some places inside the city that were much more reasonable and better value for money. But I suppose you get what you pay for. We had a lovely experience there. As I said, it's very pretty. It reminded me of Emily in Paris. The food was really good. I just made the wrong choice really because bread and cheese is bread and cheese. Connor and Lila, however, had some beautiful meals. It worked out, I think, about 39 euros each for their meals. And the drinks were on the pricey side too. But I guess it's because it was so close to this beautiful view. Just going to do a little vlog here. So we're sat right opposite or next to the Eiffel Tower after eating in the Emily in Paris restaurant, which I don't actually think is anything to do with Emily in Paris, but it was very nice. And then I paid 30 euros for bread and cheese, so I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. I don't know if I can get over it.
I got the nicest Caesar chicken salad.
Yeah, Lila went for the Caesar
and also
salad.
we nearly got scammed.
And Connor had the lamb shank. Yeah, someone come up, so you need to be careful around the Eiffel Tower because there's loads of people just, well, they're selling stuff, which isn't too bad because it's €1, but you do get people that come over and try to put a friendship bracelet on and then take money from you for the pleasure of a friendship bracelet. So it's not really very friendly. But we knew, so as soon as he came up to me saying Hakuna Matata,
Yeah, he said Hakuna Matata.
I was like, no. And he was like, England, and then we just carry on walking. So don't be afraid to be rude.
He said England, and you were like, no thank you. And then he said Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. And you were
Was he
like,
calling
nope.
me in the Lion King? We did have tickets to go to the very top of the Eiffel Tower in the elevator, but unfortunately tiredness and fatigue got the better of me, so we went back to the hotel ready for our flight in the morning. It was a shame, but I wasn't going to force myself to do it because I was just so tired. So that's it. That's the end of the vlog. Thank you for spending the day with us, and we'll see you again soon.